माधव कुंज विहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधा यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव विहारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 राम राम राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधा मदन मोहन राधे जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा Nittai Gauranga, Nittai Gauranga, Jaya Nittai Gauranga. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की श्रीला प्रभुपाद की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Please all of you repeat this beautiful verse from the Bhagavatam. Varam vrinidvam bhadram vo yoyam me nripanandanaha sauhardena pratak dharmaha tushtoham sauhrdena vaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear sons of the king, these are prachetas. Prachetas. I am very much pleased by the friendly relationships among you. All of you are engaged in one occupation, devotional service. I am so pleased with your mutual friendship that I wish you all good fortune. Now you may ask a benediction of me. Like that, Lord Vishnu is telling the 10 sons of Prachina Parishad king, their name is Prachetas. So, Param Vrinidvam, which means please ask for some benediction. Bhadram, oh auspicious. fellows. Hmm. Uyame Nripanandanaha. Oh, king, sons of one king who is Prachina Parisha. Sauhardena. Apratak Dharma is Bhagavad Dharma. Why it is called Apratak Dharma? Pratak means, doing independently. For example, now I was doing Kirtan. So the devotee playing Mridanga was sitting right in the front. So Kartal is moving. And the Mridangam is also moving in coordination with the Kartal. Correct, no? And all the devotees are clapping hands in coordination also. And in this way, imagine if there is a harmonium player, he's also playing properly exactly the same swara and meter and everything. So then the kirtan comes out very well, isn't it? And it is very pleasing to everybody's hearts and everybody sings with great delight. Lord is also pleased. So in this way, working in coordination, produces a kind of symphony, and that brings about a great thrill to the hearts of all the jivas. On the other hand, imagine, for example, the singer is sitting, sometimes Mangalarti, you see, singer is standing in the front and playing Kartal, and Mridanga person is somewhere way behind, some 6 rows behind, and he is playing Mridangam in another world. And this fellow want to tell him to play fast, but he is not available next to him. The vampire is in another corner. And some fellow is now learning new Kartal, how to play. He also starts. So then there's a lack of, somebody knows that somebody correctly but wrongly plays in another direction. 1, 2, 3 is playing another direction. So Kirtan doesn't come out well. Suddenly the mic conks off. Mic doesn't work. Some wire got disconnected. People are not able to follow what he's singing. So that becomes pratak, independent, whimsical, separate, doing something independently. So doesn't come out well. So apratak dharma is actually Bhagavad dharma, where the bhaktas come together, they dance together, they sing together, they worship the Lord together, putting aside their false ego, considering themselves very insignificant and considering Lord as the most lovable object. Because they love the Lord so much, they also love those who are Lord's parts and parcels, the other devotees. So, genuine devotees are those who have deep respect for other devotees. They have a very great respect, deep respect. Respect and affection, adoration, admiration, even in their absence also. They think about the other devotees. Just as they think about the Lord, they think about the other devotees, who are their fellow devotees, and admire them and appreciate them to their friends, glorify their qualities. And often they take them as role models and aspire to be like them or try to learn from them. So when that kind of attitude is there in the heart, then you can naturally expect a very good cooperation in the presence of each other, when they come together with each other. You will see that when you have affection and respect for somebody, you flow very smoothly with them. Correct, no? When you have a disrespect and hatred for, dislike for somebody, then your dealings are going to produce some fire sparks. And in the interpersonal dealing, it will not come out good relationship. And also in such a disconnected relationship, everybody goes on an ego trip. What is the meaning of ego trip? Everybody is in a proving mode. Nobody is in an improving mode. Everybody thinks, I know best. I know what is the right standard. Prabhupada said this. And my senior devotee told that. This is my standard. You don't know what is the standard. So it's all right that you may know something very wonderfully, and you may be smart also and very knowledgeable also. But how you say what you say matters a lot. If one boy used to come to our program of His Holiness Bhakti-Rasamrita Maharaj in IIT. So first class he came and he saw devotees chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Devotees are chanting like that, very lovingly calling the Lord's name. At the end, he said, Swamiji, these devotees don't know proper pronunciation in Sanskrit. Hare Krishna, like that they should say. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Not Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Rama. In Sanskrit it should be said as Ram. Similarly, Hare Krishna. Some of the boys are saying Hare Krishna, 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 Hare, like they're saying. So Hare Krishna. And some of your boys are saying Hare Krishna, Rama. So he said that's all wrong. So Prabhuji immediately told everybody, so this gentleman is teaching you correct pronunciation, you all can learn it. Next time you do that. And that's the only class, first and last class of that boy. He never turned up after that. Basically, he was more in a giving mood than taking mood. So he couldn't become a devotee because, becoming a devotee requires some moment of sensitivity also in dealing in behavior with one another. Like you see how many times we put our head on the ground, bow down. Why we bow down repeatedly? We have to smash our false ego. Because as long as the false ego is lurking, we don't respect Guru also, Vaishnavas also, Lord also. We have a big nose, raised nose like anti-aircraft gun. We think too high of ourselves. So every one of us in our private moments, we should sit and reflect. What do I think about who I am? So if I am having a high estimation of myself, that I am very handsome, I am very intelligent, I am very smart, I am very knowledgeable, I can beat down others in this and that. So these kind of ideas about one's own imagined greatness, like a cat was looking into a mirror and he saw a lion inside. So what was the cat thinking about himself? He thought he looks like a lion, but he's simply pussycat. But he's thinking I'm a lion. So very high estimation of oneself that causes superiority complex. Then when one comes across the other friends, one is going to have a false ego problem, false pride and arrogance, harshness in behavior. Superiority complex leads to, clashes in interpersonal dealing. So unawareness of one's deficiencies, one's shortcomings. Like there was an army officer who was a proud man. He would go like this, talk, he would go to the mess, and then he would touch the table like this and like they do it and show it. And then he would ask the people, and when he would be trembling, sorry, sir, we will clean the table, they would say. One day, this army officer's grandson also walked with him. So, grandson was a small boy. So, he saw his grandfather was doing like this and showing. So, the boy did like this from bottom and took out this much cobweb and he showed. He said, Dadaji, see this? He showed. And that man was shocked because till date he had never seen below. He had only seen in the top. So who that day he understood my grandson knows better than me also. It's a small kid. Because the kid could see below. Huh? He could not see. He is seeing only from the top. Upar he is seeing. So in this world, we all should know that sometimes something good can come even from small people. They may be much inferior to us. We should always be in a mood of learning. Learning, asking questions, sharing, and being open-minded like a parachute. Parachute functions better when it is closed or open. Open. Our mind should be open also. So some people think, you will tell me what? I know everything. Yeah. So I had gone to one temple. So one boy didn't know who I was. He had not seen me. In those days, videos were not prominent. Only audios were prominent, right? In the very early days. So when I was taking prasad, so he was telling that, you are coming from where? He asked me. And I said, I'm coming from Pune. And I said, oh, there is one great devotee, Radheshyam Prabhu in Pune. Yeah. So then he was telling me, he was just talking to me. And then he said, I have read his preacher's guide. I got some ideas and everything, you know. So then he was telling about some of these things. And somebody else came and called me, Radheshyam, can we go? He said, then he asked, oh, you are Radheshyam Prabhu, he said. But in the course of talking to that boy, I also got to see what all they are doing there, correct, in their temple. Sometimes a small one may come and say something very valuable for us also. We can always be open-minded to learn. And sometimes preachers also, if you ask them to learn from other preachers, they think, what can he teach me? I know everything. Then you become closed, you cannot learn anything. Huh? Similarly, book distributors, you cannot learn from other book distributors, then you put a wall around yourself. So, here you will see these 10 fellows, prachetas, they're coming together, staying together in the forest, underwater, they are performing meditation on Lord Vishnu, chanting the Rudra Gitam. And they all are united. There must have definitely uh, been some differences in their outlook and notions and ways of doing things, because when two conscious living entities come together, there will definitely be unique opinions. huh? They will be there. But how do you deal with them is most important, like learning to live with differences. For example, when Lord Rama called Sugriva and asked, you are telling about this Rakshasa Vibhishan who has come, what should we do? So Sugriva said, we should immediately bring him down from the sky, beat him up, and arrest him, put him behind the bars, and if possible, even kill him. Why? Because he belongs to which dynasty? Rakshasa dynasty. And he's brother of Ravana. I think he is curious to enter our army to become a spy and give all information to Ravana, and he will destroy us. Like that he said. And Lord Ram, although did not agree with his opinion, didn't speak a word. Here comes a very important point. We need to cultivate self-control in terms of speech. If you disagree with somebody, you don't have to immediately blurt out. Hey, I don't agree with this, you are nonsense. He didn't say that. Oh, is it like that? Okay. You can always hear, it's whose opinion? Sugriva's opinion. Let him have it. You should allow others to have their opinion. And you can have your opinion. That much maturity we need to have. You cannot force fit your opinion into others, belly by through their throat. Can you force fit your opinion into others? And that is what divorce happens nowadays in families. You should never try to force fit your opinion. You can actually, if they have their opinion, they are seeing from a certain paradigm. Like here, I'll show you something, you will see. You can see this one. See these two fellows. What is this fellow saying? It's 9, not 6, he says. And that fellow is saying it is 6, not 9. So who is right? Both are right. But they are seeing from two different angles. Correct, no? So if you are going to keep on arguing, the argument will be endless. Correct, no? So the angle in which Sugriva is seeing is not totally wrong. It has some meaning because Rakshasa dynasty, taking him could be risky for their army. Therefore, Lord Ram weighed and respected his opinion also. Okay, I understand, Lord Ram said. Then at that time, Hanuman was also there, who was junior to Sugriva in age. And Sugriva and Angada are superior because Sugriva is the king. Angada is made the team leader. And Hanuman is one of the team members. He didn't speak a word. Although Hanuman had the same opinion or different opinion? Different opinion. Didn't speak a word. Kept quiet. And he didn't say anything disrespectful about Sugriva. He didn't say. He just kept quiet. In case I am given a chance to express my opinion, I will express. Otherwise, I'll keep quiet. Then Lord Ram turned to Hanuman and asked, Hanuman, what do you feel? My lord, I can only tell you my experience. When I flew to Lanka, I found this person is a pious man. He is your devotee. He chants your name. And he has a good heart. And from his speech and behavior and his dealing with his brother Ravana, I feel that he walks the path of Dharma. He's a good person. And he can be taken into our army if it pleases you. That's all he said. Now he is giving his opinion. While giving his opinion, he didn't ridicule Sugriva. This foolish Sugriva doesn't understand. He didn't say that. Because generally when we give our opinion, we also give one kick to the other person also. Because he told the wrong opinion. I know better opinion. सुग्रीव को क्या अकल है क्या उसका? वो गया क्या लंका में कौन गया? मैं गया ना, मैं खुद देखा उसको, like that if he speaks like that, then what happens is, then Sugriva and Hanuman relationship becomes finished. Then they will have strained for many long years to come. क्या बोला मेरे बारे में? Correct, no? He didn't say one word about Sugriva. Not only that, he didn't speak his opinion until Lord Ram asked him. Just see how much self-control. So most of the management problems come because of lack of self-control. You tell the manager to chant 2 extra rounds, he will not do. But that 2 extra rounds will give you self-control. Actually, when you chant 16 rounds, 16 rounds is a big thing. If somebody chants 16 rounds regularly or very nicely, gradually one should build the inner self-control in Atma Vinigraha, Krishna says. Because if you are self-controlled, you will know what to speak when and how to speak what we are speaking. How do you say what you say? The Hanuman said the right thing, but he said in the right tone. He didn't speak anything with a wrong tone. And also the timing is very important. Just like in a combustion chamber, the spark plug, when it is ignited, immediately the gas is combustion is burned. No? But it goes, then only the piston moves, correct? No? The right timing is very important. If the timing is not correct, it will not have the effect. Just like sixer, when he puts, you see in that, isn't it? The timing is very important. Your little delayed ball will hit your face or something, isn't it? So, the same manner, the correction to be given, one should know when to speak, when not to speak. What is the right platform, forum to speak? If you want to really maintain good relationships with devotees. Hanuman, for him, his relation with Sugriva was more important than the delight he gets by criticizing Sugriva. There are two things. You want a delight in criticizing others, or you want to preserve relationships for a long time. You have two things. Sometimes the delight actually comes from passion, Rajoguna. So you want the kick of Rajoguna, or you want to have the relationship. So Hanuman was very polite and well behaved. So when Hanuman spoke his opinion, was Sugriva angry with him? See, for example, in the same team, somebody tells opinion exactly opposite to you. What happens to us? You feel bad. अरे इसको क्या मालूम है, समझ में आ रहा है, he's a rakshasa, I am telling you, he's not understanding. He didn't say like that. Now Sugriva saw Hanuman has a different opinion. He kept quiet. He didn't say anything. Then after that, after hearing from Hanuman, Lord again went to Sugriva. Sugriva, I also feel what Hanuman says is a good idea. We can make Vibhishan one of our family members, which means he can be with us and become one of us. Just like we all are friendly with each other, he can also be with us. I also feel. What do you think? Again, Lord Ram asked him. See, Lord Ram didn't decide. He again asked Sugriva. Then Sugriva told Ram, my dear Lord, I have a reasoning why I am saying what I am saying. He said, if somebody is born in a Rakshasa Kulam, superficially he may show some goodness. And he may behave good in the beginning. But people's nature doesn't go away. Like if you make a dog sit on a elevated throne, if he smells the boots, again he will jump out of the throne and go and lick the boots. That is his mentality. So people's swabhava doesn't go away very easily. So my fear is that Rakshasas drink blood and eat flesh of others. So having such a mentality, polluted mentality, when he will show the tendency, God knows, nobody can say that. So keeping that in mind, considering your safety and your success of your army, and that is why I had told you that it is better not to accept him. That is my reasoning. I don't say he may not be good at all. Maybe some superficial good he has. Like that, Sugriva clarified the point. Then Lord Ram, all the wanderers asked Ram, you are asking our opinion, his opinion, but what about your opinion, which you have not spoken yet? So this goes to show Lord Rama being a very mature leader of the army, of the Vanaras. Actually leader has the best ideas many times, but Ram had the best idea, which he didn't spell out until all the Vanaras were interested to hear about it. Many times we chase behind people and yell into their ears what they should do. Whereas Ram didn't do that. Ram actually heard from everybody. And then when they asked him, he spoke that golden famous verse, Sakridapi prapanno yas tavasmi iti yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadami yetat pratam mama. Uh, my dear Sugriva, I have an eternal principle. Anyone who comes to take shelter of my lotus feet, I will not discard them. Even once if they say, my dear Lord, I am yours, then I immediately accept that person. Let him come from Rakshasa family or any family, I don't care. And you are worried about my safety. Let me tell you, with the toe nail, I can kick millions of universes and turn them into powder. So Lord sometimes reveals his power and greatness also. He said, no one can cheat me, no one can loot me, no one can surpass me. Do not fear. And when he spoke like this, then Sugriva became mild. Sugriva had tears in his eyes. He said, my dear Lord, you are personification of love. If you decide to give shelter to someone, who are we to oppose you? So we all will align with your will. And then everybody was very happy after that. So the whole team went in the same direction. So Lord Ramachandra did not force fit his opinion into the minds of all the team members. So those of you who are in leading position, sometimes in case you feel that you are not getting cooperation of your team members, it's likely that they feel they are not sufficiently heard. If those who wish to speak are heard, and then they have spoken, others have spoken, and they have tried to arrive at a consensus agreement mutually, and lastly the leader speaks, it will come out very well. Because everybody got an opportunity to put their opinion on the table, and it was threadbare analyzed, pros and cons. And now they have become blossomed in their heart and more open-minded. Okay, I think my opinion is good. It's not totally good. The other fellow's opinion is better. And then when finally the decision is made, it comes out more better. That's what Lord Ram did with Vanaras. He heard Sugriva, and he approached Hanuman, then back to Sugriva, then he told his heart. Then it came out well. Although he is Supreme Lord, he did not decide without consultation. Similarly, you find Lord Krishna also in the pastime of whether Ashwatthama should be killed or Ashwatthama should be spared. So who said he should be spared? Draupadi said. She didn't tell everybody. She told Yudhishthir. She knew Yudhishthir is actually Dharmaraj. Definitely he will understand. So 6 reasons she said why, dharmyam, nyayam, nirvalikam, karunam, samam, mahat. 6 reasons she gave why Ashwatthama should not be killed. And he heard it, our Yudhishthir Maharaj, he nodded the head. Pratyananda, it said, he nodded the head and said, well said, Draupadi, I agree with you. When he nodded the head, immediately Nakul Sahadeo nodded the head also. The youngest ones, they had complete faith in Yudhishthir Maharaj. So now this side, how many came? 4 of them. 4. 2 plus 2. Draupadi, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadeo. On the other side, Bhima was putting his foot down and said, you guys, all of you join one party, I don't care. This fellow has killed Draupadi's 5 sons at any cost. He has to be killed. And Arjuna, if you are a little hesitant, don't worry, give the sword to me, I will do the needful. I can finish him. He just came forward to immediately decapitate Ashwatthama. And Lord Krishna also was standing by the side of Bhima. And Krishna said, you see, if somebody is Suptam, Balam, Viratam, Bhitam, Sharanyam, he said many things. He said, if somebody is a child, somebody is bowing down to you and taking your shelter, or somebody is crying, somebody is fearing you, somebody is running away, or somebody is in a sleeping mode the night, or somebody is a Nirayudapani, he has no weapon in the hand, such a person doesn't deserve to be killed. But this fellow is such a foolish fellow, this Ashwatthama. They are children, they are small boys, and they were sleeping at night, and they had no weapon also. So he has killed. So according to Shastra, he deserves to be killed. So Lord Krishna gave a Shastric explanation and said he deserves to be killed. So Krishna and Bhima on one side, and these four people on the other side, diametrically opposite. And which means amongst devotees, can there be difference in opinion, or there should not be any difference? What do you think? There can be. This pastime is approved. You see? And amongst all these people, who is the topmost person? Krishna. He didn't force fit any opinion. He didn't tell Draupadi, hey, Draupadi, what is the sentimental lady? You just move aside. He didn't say that. No, nor did Draupadi look at Bhima and she say, you aggressive, coercive fool who is in a bloodthirsty monster, you want to kill this Brahmana. She didn't speak like that. They didn't call names. They didn't blame. They didn't have ill feelings towards one another. They are all putting their opinions on the table. At the same time, they have mutual respect, love, and trust. Huh? Everybody had, and they are patient also for the outcome. And Arjuna is looking on the left side, looking on the right side. How to, and then Krishna smiled and told Arjun, Arjun, you have to come up with a decision which will satisfy all of us. It's a very tough job, isn't it? Arjuna thought, what could be done? Bhima is very strongly desiring to finish this fellow. So at that time, Arjuna, of course, Krishna is the one who is in the heart of everybody. Sarvasya chaham hridisal nivishto mattas smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedaishcha sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Krishna says, I am in the heart of everybody and I gave the intelligence, isn't it? So the Lord gave him the sadbuddhi. Immediately he caught the hair, the jewel of Ashwatthama, and he cut it. And that is considered a very great, like feather on the cap, we say, for Ashwatthama. When that was gone, he was humiliated like an animal. And then he was driven away. And Bhima felt very happy because for a Kshatriya, dishonor is worse than death. So because he was dishonored, Ashwatthama, Bhima was saying, this is worse than death also. What he did is perfect. Then Draupadi and others, they felt happy that he was not killed. He was left alive. So both parties became happy. In this way, the outcome of this meeting, where there was conflict, was both parties became happy. And that is the duty of a leader. Find how to arrive at a compromise in such a manner that, like for example, when we want to call the new boys for a program to our center, sometimes one devotee says, Prabhu, we should give a big feast. He says, 10 course feast we should give, Prabhuji. One plate should be 400 rupees. Either a devotee says. Then everybody, there are other people who say, Prabhuji, wait a minute. We don't have so much easy funds. If you were to give a boy 400 rupees per plate, imagine if 100 boys come, how much it is? 40,000. And these guys will come, they will come and chant, dance, take prasad and go away. They are not going to come for a weekly program. If 100 people come now, out of that we may get 10 devotees. Why to spend so much money? And let us keep the money to use it for preaching to the devotees. Now this 40,000 can be used for several weeks for the weekly program for a small number of boys, rather than spend it so much. If you have too much money, you don't know what to do with the money, then you can do that kind of program, which is not the case. So these two devotees who are having difference in opinion, both are lovers of Prabhupada's mission. Because one wants to see Prabhupada's mission expand, spend lavishly. Another one is interested to see Prabhupada's wealth protected and used in the right direction. They are not sense gratifiers. And that is why we have to respect devotees. See, there is a big difference between devotees quarreling and materialistic people quarreling. Materialistic people are quarreling for sense gratification. Who will get the money? I will pocket the money. Another fellow says, I will complain about you. Why? Because I can't pocket that money. Therefore, I'll complain. So both are thinking about their own sense gratification. Whereas amongst devotees, there is no sense gratification. Devotees are thinking, one devotee is thinking to serve Krishna in one way. Another devotee wants to serve Krishna in another way. So they both want to figure out which is the better way. Correct, no? So that's where we have to put aside our false ego. In case you came up with the idea better than mine, then I should be willing to bow my head to that and say, Prabhu, I think what you said is true. Economically, it's viable, and also it produces good results. I think there are more than 5 advantages of what you said. What I said, it has only two advantages, and then there are 4, 5 disadvantages. I think what you said is better. Let's go for the better idea. Not because it is yours or mine. After making analysis, whatever works out best, we should go for it. That's where we have to put aside our false ego, isn't it? So these 10 sons of Prachina Parishad were like that. They were staying together in the forest and performing, devotion service together without quarreling. If you are going to quarrel and criticize with one another, then Kali has entered. And once the Kali enters, the Kali will make our heart very dry. Like the nature of Kali, it produces hypocrisy, mm, and independent mentality, and quarrel and rebellion. These are 4 symptoms of Kali, you see. First, one becomes hypocritical. Hypocritical means cheating. One does some blunders, and then one tries to hide it. But when one is caught, mm, immediately one quarrels. What do you say? Like sometimes you say, in the train, somebody is putting hand to steal your, you know, smartphone you have kept for charging. He's taking and seeing it. Hey, why are you touching my smartphone? One fellow asked. क्या हम चोर है क्या? Like that he was asking. ऐसे देखा क्या मॉडल करके हम देख रहे थे बस चोर है क्या? He was asking. So when he asked, I thought maybe he's sure only. Correct, na? So sometimes you see that people do hypocritical activity. When you catch them, they quarrel. Huh? And then after they quarrel, when you try to tell them the right thing, they rebel. Huh? And finally they become independent. Huh? So this is Kali Yuga. Huh? So we have to be very, very careful. It says Gurujan Prabhu told us that if you are living in the company of devotees, if you are going to allow Kali to come in, these 4 qualities will dry your heart. What to speak of looking, and you cannot even look at each other's eyes. And what to speak of dancing together in kirtan, like an innocent child, singing, dancing, taking prasad together, reading Bhagavatam together. You cannot do all those things as devotees. Because heart, once it becomes dry and hatred enters into our heart towards other devotees, such a heart is a diseased heart. Yeah, hatred-free heart is a healthy heart. Huh? A heart with some kind of dislike or hatred for other devotees is a diseased heart. So with a diseased heart, you can't be like an innocent child. It's not possible. This is the challenge in the path of bhakti. In other paths, yogi, jnani, and all yogi, every yogi sits under a different tree. They don't have to unitedly practice. No, no. Durvasman sitting under a tree. Everybody is playing his own fiddle. All the yogis. Whereas in bhakti, you cannot play your own fiddle. You have to jointly do bhakti. Bhakti multiplies when we do in the association of each other. You will see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is never alone. He is with the Panchatattva. And similarly, you find wherever you find like Krishna's gopis, Radharani is not alone. She has her 8 associates also. You see like that, isn't it? Wherever you find devotion service performed, it is performed together. Like Gadadhar Pandit is reading Bhagavatam and Mahaprabhu goes to hear. He is not alone. There are 10, 12 devotees sitting and they are all hearing Bhagavatam together. So hearing together, taking prasadam together, dancing together, going on yatra together, doing Prabhupada book reading together. So devotion service involves togetherness, correct, no? In bhakti. So if somebody has too much false ego, they cannot do things together. They have to be on their own. So that's why then devotion service becomes very dry for such people. So here these 10 fellows, they did together. That became very attractive. That's called, we call team spirit. I told you the symphony, playing instruments together, isn't it? Here Jiva Goswami says, though one usually ignores others in attaining one's own goals, those aspiring for prema accept dependence on others with similar goals and tastes. Jnanis and yogis, they try to attain their goal on their own. There are Himalayan yogis who live in ice also. Sometimes YouTubers, they go there to take video and take an interview. They don't give interview, they go away. Sometimes they go chase after them. And please kindly answer my interview, they run away. Because they like to be alone. They want to get moksha on their own. They don't mix with the praja, common people. Whereas in the path of bhakti, we don't live alone, he says. We accept dependence on one another. With similar goals and tastes. Like your goal is to go back to Godhead, my goal is to go back to Godhead. And your goal is to awaken love for Krishna, my goal is also the same. Then we come together, help one another. in awakening love for God and purifying our heart. So therefore, we have to be careful not to hurt the relationships. See, even if there is some little lacuna in management, some deficiency, that is more tolerable than devotees hurting one another. Correct, no? Because in the material world, you see, when you lit up fire, there is also smoke always. Little bit deficiency is all right, but one should not. For example, one day they made a sabji which is not so well cooked, or salt was less, or some item got over. For example, some special item gets over quickly. By the time you went to take bath and came, the item is over. Already devotees are glorifying item, but you can't see it. you know, and that makes you very angry. Everybody was telling me it's very nice, very nice. I wanted to see what is nice, but already the vessel is empty. So when you are living in a center together, such problems will come sometimes. And there is similarly, sometimes more outside boys come and stay in the weekend sometimes. Say Radheshyam Prabhu is coming Monday morning, say Sunday night some boys come and stay. Sometimes inmates feel, why these boys are coming and staying? Nuisance. Why? Because next day morning bathroom will be in trouble. Scarcity for bathroom. You are getting up in the morning, already bathrooms are full. These fellows are occupied. So you become very angry. Similarly, sleeping also, you don't have enough place to put mosquito nets. There is a very stiff place. But at the same time, you should appreciate the enthusiasm of those who are willing to come and stay, overnight and attend the morning program. They are like our brothers. So sometimes you will see when we are living as devotees, we should try to see the positive side of those people, their eagerness to stay back and enthusiasm to attend the next day morning program. And let us adjust. Just in your own house, you will adjust, correct or not? You know, Imagine your mother cooked something and sabji got over. Are you going to become angry with your mother? In a home, we always adjust. Same manner, while living with devotees also, we should learn to adjust. Sometimes, while living with devotees, we make small problems into big problems. As if, it's a big blunder done. So therefore he's saying, thus cooperating with each other. They work together, keeping in mind the goal of prema, saying, to attain Krishna prema. They work together. See, it's one Niranjan Maharaj is telling, in the early days when he was preaching, we had our difficulties, arguments, financial problems. We were struggling, but we were struggling together. Because we were struggling together, we were helping each other. In our efforts to help each other, we were all able to take advantage of each other's strengths. So he was telling an interesting point that when there is scarcity of facility, there is a scarcity of finance, and there is a scarcity of number of devotees to do the services and everything. So then we all struggle, but when you struggle together, your affection for each other increases. Because you can see that some devotees are taking overload and you feel pity for them. You feel sympathy for them. And some devotee is cutting his salary and putting a amount for preaching, and you take, when you feel sympathy for him, so much money of his salary is giving for preaching, isn't it? So in this way, devotee should feel sympathy for each other rather than, feel superiority over one another. We should not try to dominate other devotees. Rather, we should feel sympathy for others. So, therefore, in a college, for example, there are thousands of students graduating into ignorance, coming out of the college. They don't know where are they going. And there's a small group of devotees who stay in a center, 10, 12 devotees. If they fight, and that makes the preaching hopeless for that college. Because by internal quarrel, what happens? We cancel each other's energy. Correct, no? See, you have X quantum of energy. And then you fight like this. Instead of shooting Maya, you shoot each other. Then what happens? By that fight, we cancel our energy. So I have one favorite video I'll show you. A very short, 30-second video.
I can see already.
So both these deers are saying the whole ground is. Don't come here. Don't. The other deers ran away. You see, one line is coming behind.
Just wait,
That's an open ground, open to sky. These deers could have easily, but because they are fighting,
Ay, oh my God. It's over. It's over. It's over.
But in open ground, can you imagine?
It's over.
It's not very easy for lion to catch a deer in the open ground like that. Deers run very, very fast. But because they were inattentive and their attention was on what?
Oh, linear.
It's not only pinned him down, you will catch his neck now.
Yeah,
Finish now. It's finished now. Here, once he catches here, it's finished. That's all. So what you learn from this video is that, for example, two ISKCON devotees, if they fight, another organization comes and takes over. Like that, there are so many other organizations, some Mayavadi organization, some useless, those who in the name of spirituality, so many organizations are giving substandard things. So you keep fighting inside here and the college is taken over by somebody else. Hundreds of people. So you lose the opportunity. But therefore devotees, instead of cancelling, they should make 1 + 1 11. Make it synergy. See, yeah, a servant leader means who? There's the ability to create a team spirit and power to cooperate amongst devotees. So when does cooperation come? There has to be a common goal. If goals are different, you want to do your thing, I want to do my thing, he want to do his thing, he want to do his thing. We go in 4 different directions. But we all need a common purpose. If all of us inverts agree that yes, we have only 2 main goals, Dhanma Sarthaka Kori and Kara Paraupakar. Morning program for strengthening our inner core, and evening for preaching and expanding the movement. And daytime, your profession. So if all of you, how many of you agree with this goal? You agree? Correct. So when all of us agree, then that's a common purpose. And secondly, seeing the speciality of each member of the team. One member may be able to give good classes. One member may be able to sing well. One member may be able to cook well. One member is very good in, PR, public relations. And one member is very good in getting permissions from the authority and everything. Another member may be able to prepare a website or a YouTube channel or whatever. He's very good in social media. So make the names of devotees and then write everyone's name and give them all diverse according to the talents, different services. But all the services geared towards these two things only. Janma Sarthaka Kori and Karapara Upaka. An appreciation of the distinctive contribution that each one can make. Don't say those who are preaching are the best people. Those who are cooking are useless. If you say that, tomorrow they won't cook. So one has to appreciate all the services, distinctive contribution. Everybody can make. That means have a common purpose, identify the special talent of each devotee and give them services. And when they render the services, appreciate them. See, empowering devotees and creating a healthy team is based on 5 things. Think about this. First is, a devotee should feel, I feel valued enough to contribute some seva. This is very important. Sometimes people say, Prabhu, nobody is there to ask what I am doing. I am, running my life in wilderness. I don't know what am I doing, where am I going. Koi puchta nahi, jinda hai mara. If somebody feels like that, then you don't feel any enthusiasm. If there is somebody above you who is asking what you are doing and they see your service and they give a pat on the back, then you feel valued enough. I respect and I value fellow devotees of the temple, which means in your group, do you like your other devotees? My Guru Maharaj said, what do you feel for other devotees? That's very important. Sometimes externally you may say Vanchakalpa and all that in the morning, bow down. But what do you feel for the other devotees? Do you feel hatred or you feel affection or you feel neutral? Think about it. Write the list of all the devotees in your center and consider with this devotee what I feel. Then you will come to know. If you feel respect and you value the devotees, then you are rightly situated. And despite all the deficiencies ISKCON society may have, still I love ISKCON society because ISKCON society is like a moon. A moon may have some pock marks. Still the moon gives light in the night. So therefore, we should not blame this is not there in ISKCON or ISKCON is like this. No, if it is not there, you bring it about. You do something good to make it a better society rather than complain. Prabhupada said ISKCON is my body. So don't blame Prabhupada's body. Rather, you do something to make it better. I love Srila Prabhupada and the goals of ISKCON. This is very, very important. Because Prabhupada is our founder Acharya. Like one boy is telling, Prabhuji, I don't like to hear Prabhupada's lectures. I like more self-help type of books. So he's not in the right direction. He's going in the wrong direction. Because he's going to become more like many of the outsiders read self-help books and they live mostly better material life. That's all. Because if you don't like Prabhupada's lectures, you don't like spirituality. That's all. Prabhupada's lectures are very, very plain, straightforward, simple, pure, coming in parampara. So, because he's our founder Acharya for ISKCON society. So, nobody can just discard his teachings. One should study his teachings and implement in one's life. And Prabhupada has given goals for ISKCON, that also. I appreciate the mission and vision of my temple president and GBC, which means, like for example, in our Hyderabad temple here, our vision and mission is that we want to do youth preaching, and increase the number of devotees. And from that, there are two divisions. Some will join as brahmacharis, and some will become grihasthas. And those who become grihasthas will join the grihastha community and further expand preaching. And fortunately, they are trained well before marriage in the center here. So that training is going to help them to train their wife, children, family, and it will come out very well. And those who are joining as brahmacharis, they may make groups of brahmacharis may be sent to different parts of Hyderabad to start new temples in future. 50 to 100 places. We have more than a crore population in Hyderabad. So we have a vision and mission clear, put on paper. We have it. So do you appreciate that kind of twin focus? One is strengthening our foundation, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Patanam. That is Janma Sarthaka Kori. And then Karapara Upakar. If you have some other goal, then you may not be happy here. I know that all devotees of ISKCON are trying to fulfill Prabhupada's mission, and I love, respect, and honor them. So why do I love the other devotees? They may have so many problems. Some devotee becomes angry, some devotee is lazy, some devotee is crazy, but still I love them. Why? Because they are all ultimately Prabhupada's people. They are trying to preach Prabhupada's teachings and then reach out to people. So that's correct. See, in our Harvard Business School, in that research when they did, they were shocked to know this research was done by Stanford University. 82% of the students passing out of MBA from such high-class business schools, they fail to build team relationships, he's saying. Just imagine. 82% of them. That means only 18% fellow leaders are able to create teams. So majority of the fellows are failing. 58% are not clear about the job description. Another 52% they lack some skills. So that 50% lacking skill is very easy thing. You can teach them the skill. That's very easy. And 50% job expectation, those who don't know, boss has to sit with them and give them a clear-cut job description. That's also easy. But the 82% team relationship, that requires attitude, which is what we are talking now. Yeah. See, therefore the kings used to do what all they would do, see? Toshana, Prinana, Upalalana, Anushasana. Like the king would give sufficient food to feed all citizens, because once people have enough food, they are happy. And Prinana means he would distribute gifts to them to satisfy them. And those who are contributing well, we should arrange for, we have this Sadhu Bhushan award, correct, no? We give gifts. Also, besides Sadhu Bhushan, we give many other times also gifts we give. And also Prabhupada says, if prasadam is good, the complaints will be less, Prabhupada says. If prasadam is not good, people will, something is missing. Everybody will be they will be complaining. So therefore, Toshana and Prinana. And Upalalana means there should be regular meetings called and speaking sweet, thoughtful words to satisfy the people. Which means the king should give Upadesh, instructions to the people, and also hear them. And some people are having some grievances, some doubts, it should be clarified. And that kind of regular meetings are very important. We call it the Ishtagoshti, we call it. And Anushasana is giving instruction to how to become good citizens. These are the classes and teachings and etiquettes and achar, sadachar, siddhanta, everything. So in this way, the people, if they get these four things, any society can be peaceful. Now, this is about society. Same is applicable for our centers also. Roshana, Prinana, Upalalana, Anushasana. Yeah. And this is given in the time of King Gaya. In the Bhagavatam, you will read. He did all these things as ideal leader. Please read it, one of you who has the mic with you. See, Krishna covered boys, how sweet they look, you see. See, Krishna, instead of he eating, he's feeding Balaram, you see. Yeah. Generally, when we all get a laddu, what do we do? Immediately put in the mouth. So he putting is giving. Yeah.
Everyone should be friendly for the service of the Lord. Everyone should praise another service to the Lord and not be proud of his own service. This is the way of Vaishnava thinking, Vaikuntha thinking. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.
Actually, everyone should be friendly for the service of the Lord. While doing service, don't quarrel with one another. Try to be friendly with one another. Like devotees are doing Gundicha Mandir Marjan. They're picking up the pot and giving to another. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everybody saying Krishna, Krishna and distributing. No other sound was heard there, except the holy names. They are all very blissfully, joyfully, enthusiastically entering service together. That's what makes it different. And everyone should praise another service to Lord and not be proud of one's own service. Yeah. Like you see in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, every devotee is appreciating another devotee rather than telling how great I am. If we are saying how great I am, there is something seriously wrong. It's a diseased state of consciousness. One should be able to see good in another devotee. This is the way of Vaishnava thinking or Vaikuntha thinking. Is it?
There may be rivalries and apparent competition between servants in performing service, but in the Vaikuntha planets, the service of another servant is appreciated, not condemned. This is Vaikuntha competition. There is no question of enmity between servants.
Devotees don't have enmity, and devotees never condemn other service. Like, you don't pull the leg of a devotee anytime. But you may be inspired by another devotee service and you may want to learn from the devotee. Like Prabhupada says, one gopi sees another gopi making beautiful garlands. She will say, oh, let me also learn from her and then make best garlands like she is making. But she will never say, she's making good garland, pull her leg. That they will never do. They don't condemn the service, they don't criticize. At the same time, they are inspired. Like Pandavas had differences in opinion, but because Krishna was the center, Yudhishthir was the senior most, everybody listened to these two personalities, Krishna and Yudhishthir. Yeah.
Everyone should be allowed to render service to the Lord to the best of his ability, and everyone should appreciate the service of others. Such are the activities of Vaikuntha. Since everyone is a servant, everyone is on the same platform and is allowed to serve the Lord according to his ability.
Yeah. Lord Rama appreciated squirrel's service and he appreciated Hanuman's service because both of them rendered service to the best of their capacity. So Lord Ram told squirrel that although you're putting small stone, I consider your service as good as Hanuman's service. Because you are giving your full capacity. Lord was very happy. Same happened to Jatayu also. See, when Jatayu came flying, Sita Mata saw Jatayu and said, hey Jatayu, see you are too old to confront Ravana. Therefore, better you don't fight. You go and inform Ram that I am being kidnapped and taken towards the southern direction. You go and give the news to Lord Ram. So now Jatayu could have easily said, oh, that's all I need to do. Just inform this to Ram. Thank you, bye-bye. He didn't say that. No. He said, how can I allow you to be kidnapped like this? Watching with my eyes. I will exert myself the best of my strength. So he tore off 5 arms of Ravana also. Do you know that? He toppled his mukut also. He tore off his 5 arms. With his claws, he tore his kavach also, Ravana's kavach. Then he, with his beaks, he killed the mule which was drawing the Pushpaka Viman. And Ravana became wild seeing this. He picked up his bow and arrow and Jatayu snatched away the bow and arrow and threw it off. Everything, so much he did with his, although in his old, because of the vigor he had to protect Sita. At that time, Ravana took a sword and he cut off the wings of Jatayu. And Jatayu, being an old eagle, over a period of time in the struggle, he lost his energy and strength. And although he fell to the ground, swooning in pain, and then Lord Rama and Lakshman came, and then Lord Rama cried tears seeing him. And Lord Rama said, oh, Jatayu, you have given your best service, to protect my Sita. This very evening I'll send you to Vaikuntha, Lord said. Because he gave his best capacity. service. You can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have to become big scholars. We don't have to become big supermen. We simply have to become a humble servant of Krishna.
Yeah. See, although I told you the Vibhishan pastime, Sugriva was telling Vibhishan is from Rakshasa Kulam, we cannot trust him. But Lord trusted many people like Bali Maharaj, or Prahlad Maharaj, or even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered Haridas Thakur, who was born in a Muslim family. He made him the Namacharya. And these people never failed in their devotion ever in their life. Throughout the life, they showed a track record of being perfect. So Lord Rama also trusted Vibhishan like that. Because once a person comes to devotion service, he can march ahead without any slip, depending on how sincerely one is practicing. Therefore, one doesn't have to become a big superman or a scholar or anything. One just have to become a humble servant of the Lord. Yeah.
As confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 15.15, Sarvasya chaham hirdasannivishto matte smrti jnanam apohanam cha. The Lord is situated in everyone's heart, giving dictation according to the attitude of the servant. However, the Lord gives different dictation to the non-devotees and devotees. The non-devotees challenge the authority of the Supreme Lord, and therefore the Lord dictates in such a way that the non-devotees forget the Lord's service life after life and are punished by the laws of nature.
So Lord says, Spriti Jnanam Apohanam, three things. He gives forgetfulness to demons, and he gives remembrance to devotees, and he gives knowledge to devotees. So I studied about it in various purports. I will tell you exact meaning that Prabhupada says for these three things. He says, if anybody had smoked a cigarette in the previous life and got cancer and died, in the next life, the Lord gives him smriti, that don't touch cigarette now. Because in the previous life, you already died because of that. Why are you going in the same direction? Then a person immediately, some people don't fear cigarette. You have seen that? Just like you say, no, Dudh ka jala, chaach ko phung phung. He will not touch a liquor or cigarette. He has a terrible fear for that. But where does that fear come from? That's the remembrance given by super soul based on the previous life, this person's indulgence in those things. So he fears everything. He doesn't indulge in anything. He has that healthy fear which is very necessary. The person has. And similarly, for coming to Krishna, he gives jnanam. How? He tells his devotee, go to the devotee, take a copy of Bhagavad Gita, read it, and then go for the weekly association and go and join that center, take prasad, become a devotee. So Paramatma gives him direction. He gives jnana. And for the non-devotees, or those are insincere devotees also, Lord gives them forgetfulness. How does he give? If Lord sees that some living entities want only material enjoyment, if somebody tries to give them devotion service, they become angry and envious also. You've seen some people like that? They fight like anything with devotees. They want to enjoy material life. Don't disturb me. Don't come to my room. Get lost. And some people are like that. Then Lord says, oh, this living entity is not interested in me. Let me give him forgetfulness and allow him to go in a direction in which he wants to go. The Lord doesn't give guidance to such a devotee. Or if a living entity has a bossing nature over other living entities, then Lord wants them to get kicks from Maya. He hands over the jiva to Maya. This fellow has too much bossing mentality. So you take care. Maya gives slaps and whips, and she will purify them. Only when a jiva comes with a little humility, my dear Lord, I want association of devotees, I want to grow, then Lord gives smriti and jnanam. So if you have a lording over mentality, if you have an offending mentality, if we have zero interest in spirituality and we are interested only in material enjoyment, or we are repeatedly committing sinful activities and pretending to be devotee, we are not properly situated devotee. We want to, sometimes somebody wants to come and exploit a spiritual movement and the devotees. Then Lord thinks this fellow is better, he will serve better in the hands of Maya. Lord gives him forgetfulness and hands over to Maya. You do the needful like that. I say, I read it.
But when a devotee very sincerely wants to render service to the Lord dictates in a different way. As the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Tesham satayuktanam bhajtam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yen mam upyanti te. To those who are constantly devoted and worship me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me.
Look at Hanuman and Arjuna. These are good souls with right attitude, and they are our role models for us. and follow in their footsteps. Then we get the Sadbuddhi to attain the feet of the Lord. Yeah.
Everyone is actually a servant, not an enemy or friend, and everyone is working under different directions from the Lord, who directs each living entity according to his mentality.
So we don't have to criticize any living entity. Every living entity is like a patient going to doctor. Doctor may give bitter medicine to one patient. He may give a sweet cough syrup to another. He may give an injection to somebody. You can't say, hey, you got injection, very good. You suffer. I got a cough syrup, very sweet. Both are diseased. You have one disease, another disease. So one need not compare what medicines are given. You worry about following what the doctor has told you to follow. Similarly, super soul is like the doctor, or the guru is like the doctor. He prescribes everybody. Okay, read this one, the last one, and then we can take some questions.
One.
Yeah, one. One of you read this, another one can read the team. You give it to the neighbor, both two of you can read.
Everyone thinks about his own interest.
All of them think as one unit, the goal of team.
People join only for administration.
People understand interdependence.
Members work independently, sometimes against each other also.
Goals are accomplished by mutual support.
Members are told what to do.
Members contribute knowledge and talents to the two team's objectives.
Members distrust each other and do not understand each other's role.
There is a climate of trust where people are encouraged to express their idea.
Members are seen like employees.
They have sense of ownership and commitment to goals.
Members may or may not be involved in decision making.
Members are involved in decisions.
Conformity is more important than results.
Positive results are the goal.
Yeah, you understand now? See, when the team has no false ego, team members, then everybody is thinking about the goal. We want to distribute Prabhupada books, or we want to preach and make devotees. And whether it is through my idea or your idea, one is more open-minded. The results are the goal. Similarly, members are involved in decision making. There's a climate of trust and appreciation for one another. Dependence on Prabhuji, can you help me with this? And then I will help you in that. And we all actually join hands with one another, helping one another in an interdependent mode to achieve the goal. And we all have a common goal to please Prabhupada, to please Guru, and please Krishna. And we don't have any independent agenda. I want to show off who I am. I want to become popular. Sometimes you see in a basketball game, one fellow takes the ball and then runs and goes like this. And his team members are saying, hey, throw it to me. He doesn't do it. He goes up to the point where he wants to put the ball in the basket. But at that time, the enemy team, they snatch it from him and they take it to the other side. So because of this one fellow's desire to become popular in playing, so the whole team loses. But good team is one, you give the ball to one and he gives the ball to one, he gives the ball. There is one tall fellow standing close to basket already ready. And he will put it inside. So those who work in a team, they get the maximum score. Similarly, every one of you are differently talented. Somebody is good in cooking or cleaning, or somebody is good in speaking or singing or follow-up or mentoring or computer work. So everybody should pool their talents together, working for a common goal, making the marvelous thing happen, which is to make new devotees and cultivate. So Liran Prabhu's group is a marvelous example. Nilanpur and Anuradha Premataji. They have a huge team. The kind of goals they are accomplishing, for example, in doing so many Rath Yatras, so many Janmashtamis. Now they may also include Ram Navami in future. So we can have Ram Navami, we can have Rath Yatra, then we can have Janmashtamis, then we can have Damodar, correct, no? As well, and then Marathon. How many totally? 5 big major festivals in 20 gated communities. Can you imagine? 20 or 25 gated communities. Now, these are like one-time program kind of thing, impact in those communities. But apart from that, they are converting those opportunities into weekly programs also, correct? Which means there, about 20 of his people, 20 couples. They are ready to go to the colony regularly every week and take a weekly program. And each program is right now having for 20, 25 devotees now. But eventually it will become like 50 to 100. Huh? So this is what exactly Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted Grihasthas to actually go, Prati Gare Gare Giya, Gorovei Bhiksha, Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. This is exactly, I would say, this is far superior to having a big stout temple where you are spending crores of rupees maintaining a temple where people come and take selfies, standing in the park or watching the fountain, or people are just coming for a tour and like a picnic spot. There you don't get much opportunity to preach and make them into devotees. Most of the guys are coming for chill out. Just to chill out and become stress free, go to temple along with their boys and girls come and families come just to take. And once in a blue moon they come, they don't come every day, correct? No? Whereas in these gated communities, what is happening now is eventually going to turn into a weekly program, turning out committed devotees. Just as this community, Gachibowli community of Leelanpur, produced something like 150 are committed devotees. In the same manner, each of the gated communities have a similar scope, correct? No? So, what is the speciality of this team? Because all are humble and united and cooperating with one another, depending on one another, not boastful or proud, that nobody is trying to become the center. Hmm. Everybody is willing to put Krishna and Guru and Prabhupada in the center. So, and you are sitting right at the same place of the same community where it is blossoming right now in front of your eyes. So I can tell this story to other voices when I go, but here your voice is right in this place. You have an opportunity to see with your own eyes and learn. Yesterday we had a presentation by the whole Gachibowli community to all HTMCs. In the morning we had, day before. We had a beautiful presentation. Every team, what they are doing. HTMCs were like flabbergasted. They were stunned to see so much volume. Even ISKCON temple may not be doing so much. Huh? But community, congregation, devotees coming together with such a small bhakti center here. So, therefore, where the devotees are very spirited. For example, Punjabi Bagh temple, if you see in ISKCON, the temple is very small. From one small temple, big temples came out. Rohini temple came out. Bahadurgarh temple came out. From that, 5, 6 temples came out like that. Similarly, in Kunjiberi, Radha Kunjiberi temple is small, but NVC is so big. How can a big stout elephant like NVCC come from a small Kunjiberi size temple? Huh? This is spiritual phenomenon, not material phenomenon. Huh? In material, from a big thing you get a small thing. Here you get from a small thing you get a big thing. Can happen. So, not only NVCC temple came out, there are so many teams of devotees who went to different parts of India, isn't it? More than 1,500. It's still multiplying. Now, yesterday we had a talk. I wanted to send one team of devotees from Hyderabad to Bangalore SNGM temple, Sri Narasimha temple of Radheshyam Prabhu. I've been frantically searching and thinking whom to send and everything. Finally, I had a discussion with Achyuta Mohan Prabhu. Achyuta Mohan Prabhu is ready to send a team from Varanasi. He will send some boys to go to Bangalore SNGM. So already we have in 2 other temples in Bangalore, devotees are there, Sheshadripuram and ICC. Now here also, SNGM also, this team will go and do. So these type of devotees who were sent to different parts of India, 15 places, they are all doing wonders in their own temples, expanding, preaching very, very powerfully. So when we are willing to put aside our false ego and cooperatively work, miracles can happen. So those devotees, the early days, like Antardi Prabhu, Revati Prabhu, they are all high attitude devotees. Because of all coming together and working together, you can see such results manifested. And many more. It's not that it manifested, it's a history. It will continue to manifest provided we continue to persist with the same right attitude and keep doing. Whether it is Brahmacharya ashram expanding to many places or the Grihasthas expanding to many places, the secret is the same. Putting aside our false ego, just you see the difference between group and the team. So let us take some questions. Yeah. Give the mic to them.
Hare Krishna, bro.
Krishna.
So, like it is said that we should please all three Hari, Guru, and Vaishnav. So, can you tell this thing in detail, like what activities come in pleasing only Hari, and what comes in pleasing or Guru only? Like we do chanting, so it may be pleasing both Guru and Hari. So,
Yeah, like we begin with making an effort to please the Vaishnavas. How do we please? For example, there are 3 levels of Vaishnavas for each of you. There is junior, there is equal, there is senior. So what does Bhagavatam say? Titikshaya karunaya maitriya chakila jantushu samatvena cha sarvatma bhagavan samprasidati. Tolerate the superiors, it says. Because your authorities may sometimes tell you service which you may not like to do. But tolerate and then do the service. Or sometimes they may give you feedback. Prabhuji, don't leave the towels in the bathroom. You say, how many times he is chasing after me? Don't ask like that. Because so many times you have kept the towel, therefore they are chasing. Think that I am committing mistake. So tolerate the superiors, giving you feedback or correction or giving you services. Titikshaya, karunaya, be compassionate to those who are younger to you. Don't ridicule them, don't mock at them, don't don't criticize them. So, and Maitri Acha Akila Jantushu, be friendly with your equals. Don't brag about your own greatness. If you brag about your greatness, you will lose your friends. Rather, you hear from them and you share your nice, be friendly, be like Prahalad Maharaj sharing Krishna consciousness with his friends. Be in that mood. So, Samattvena Sarvatma Bhagavan Samprasiti. Be equal in treatment to all. Don't do pakshapat, like that he's saying. He is enemy, he is friend, and don't do like that. Equal. Another verse, Narada told Dhruva Maharaj, Gunadikan mudam lipset, anukrosham gunadhamat, maitrin samanadan vichen, natapairavi bhuyate. There will be no clashes in interpersonal relationships if you follow this verse. Guna Adikan, somebody is having better qualities than you. Be jolly to receive him, don't be envious of him. And then he says, Anukrosham Guna Adhamat. Somebody is inferior in quality to you and seeks your help. Be open minded to help him. Maitrim Samana, then with chain. Be friendly with others who are your equals and always be having attitude of freedom from false ego, he's saying. So this is the way we deal with Vaishnavas when we are dealing with Vaishnavas. And Vaishnavas are all worshipable, even by Krishna. Krishna is worshipping Narada when he comes to his palace. Krishna is worshipping Sudama when he's coming. So if Krishna himself worships them, then how can we take them cheaply? So respecting the Vaishnavas, appreciating the Vaishnavas, expressing gratitude for their association, cherishing their association by admiration in our own hearts. So these things will help us to deal with Vaishnavas very properly. Now, when we say Vaishnavas, they all have deficiency because of conditionings which they have brought from their previous life and current lives. So with conditionings also we should respect them because they are all already in the shower. They are clearing their anarthas through chanting the holy name. So we tolerate their deficiencies and see the sunny side of the devotees. Don't see the darker side of devotees. Then once Vaishnava see that you are compassionate, you are kind, you are understanding, you are cooperative, you are friendly, you are humble, you are tolerant, you are patient. When they see these qualities, Vaishnavas will heartily bless you. When Vaishnavas bless you, you make tremendous progress. When you irritate the Vaishnavas, when you make them upset, when you make them angry, or you trouble them, or you push them, you exploit them, then you don't make progress. So, similarly, if you are a superior, you are in managerial post or position, be sympathetic to devotees. Don't give them last minute service. Give them one day in advance. Help them to prepare their mind for the service, like that, and also understand their shortcomings and accordingly give whatever is suitable for everybody. Actually, one word my spiritual master often used to say is the word is concern. If you are concerned about devotees, then Krishna will supply you the intelligence to behave with them properly. If you are not concerned about the devotees, then you will end up in clashes with devotees. Check yourself whether you have that attitude of concern for the devotees. So this is the devotees. When devotees are pleased, then Guru is pleased. Because Guru gets reports from different devotees how you behave. When Guru is pleased, Yasya Prasadat. So other two are very easy. Pleasing Guru is easy. Pleasing Hari is easy. Only pleasing Vaishnavas. That's difficult thing because Guru is liberated and Krishna is the master of the liberated. All liberated souls take shelter in his lotus feet, and we are very happy with both of them because both are pure. But we have problem with those who have not yet become pure, who are practicing Vaishnava devotees. Therefore, focus all your attention on making an effort to please the Vaishnavas. That's where you have to exert your efforts. Because Guru comes occasionally once in a blue moon, you see him only in the photo. Therefore, you have no quarrel with him. You don't have to interact with him. And Krishna is always smiling with the flute. So you are always happy with him because he never gives you feedback. But those whom you are encountering on a daily basis, they will give you feedback, they will point out finger to your mistakes and everything. That's where you have to improve your relationships. Learning to work on that. All right? Mike.
Book reading or chanting, this thing may not be pleasing for Vaishnavas, but may be pleasing for Guru and Krishna. And second question, like Guru means that Shiksha Guru comes in Vaishnava category or Guru category? Shiksha Guru or authority?
See, with respect to book reading, we have a prescription. We have to be reasonable also. Like sometimes book reading, they give 1 hour every day, some places. And you expect that book reading is not pleasing for Vaishnavas if you say, because they have many other things to do also. I generally tell the devotees, keep 20 minutes to half an hour max. I don't know here what you all do. But if you have too many hours of reading, they get tired, they want to sleep, they have many other things to do also. So whatever the managers, leaders prescribe should be reasonable, and we have to consult everybody. Generally, like right now, I'm doing one program for the IITians every Sunday afternoon, 1:30 to 2:30. So one Harshit is organizing it from IIT Hyderabad is organizing it. So exactly 1 hour it is. Starts at 1:30 and ends at 2:30. So many boys at the end of the session, they told that this is very good time for us. 1 hour in a week, we don't mind coming. They're learning a lot of things, asking good questions and everything. We have to be concerned about their convenience and their other assignments and activities and everything. So whenever you put up any plan or a program, don't hand it over top down and pushing like a thunderbolt from the sky falling to the ground and say everybody should align with it, shape up or ship out. That's not a very good thing. We are starting a reading program. If you are a Vaishnava, you have to love it. That's all. He will say, Prabhuji, I'm Vaishnava, but how can I love it? I have so many other things to do, people say. So, what instead we can do, call the devotees and say that, Prabhu, we want to have a Prabhupada reading program. So, what do you all think? Can we have it daily or can we have it 3 days a week? You want it 3 days a week, 1 hour? Or you want daily half an hour? Which one you prefer? Should we have it Monday to Friday and leave Saturday, Sunday for preaching? Or should we have it every day? So, therefore, I told you example of that Ram. There has to be some kind of consultation, mutually arrived at plan is called consensus. Consensus means now everybody together has made a plan, they will stick to it. But if you make a plan and say that Radheshyam Prabhu said you have to follow the authority. In the lecture you heard it, you hear the authority and subordinate. If you put it like that, they will say, yes, Prabhuji, you will follow authority, but you should be a reasonable authority, they will say. You should be, and you should understand our needs also. On the other hand, you are a proper authority. You made a plan after consulting them. Still, they are not following. There are people like that. They will not come for reading. Okay, you take attendance. And you take for 1 week, 2 weeks. And you are finding that regularly somebody is missing. And you meet him personally and say, Prabhu, you are missing. Probably your health is not good or what is happening. Politely you ask him. And try to, in a friendly manner, try to bring him to. The Prabhupada says in one lecture, reform them, don't remove them. Mend them, don't break them. Prabhupada's letter says this. Mend them, bend them, don't break them. Similarly, reform them, don't remove them. What is the difference between reforming and removing? Reforming means try to be friendly. Because once you are friendly, they find it sentimental and difficult to say no to you. But if you are not friendly, you come as an authority, you have no relationship. In authoritative tone, you say, we have book reading, you have to submit, otherwise attendance will go to the president and you will be thrown out. If you speak in that tone, then people will say that you are not my friend, you are not my well-wisher, you are simply a sharp-nosed authority. They will say like that. But if you say that, Prabhu, this reading program, we are all coming together, last 1 week you are not been able to come, probably your health wasn't good because of rains and other things, I think. Do you think coming week you can come? And if you have any difficulty, if you want some help, we can help you, with that. And also, we have increased many special items on festival days for all of you because you are all coming for reading. Hmm. Seeing that you are enthusiastic for reading and chanting and morning program, we are also enthusiastic in serving you. Huh? So we have to approach in a friendly mood. We cannot be too much strict. In even in Abid's temple also, so many plans we made. Like all brahmacharis should go for Harinam Sankirtan in the morning, and they will go for book distribution. So many hours in a week. Plans are very easy to make, but what is difficult? Execution. And when they don't execute, you cannot come down like a thunderbolt. Because we have to know that they are not lazy. They have many things to do also. You ask him, Prabhuji, can you tell me how does your day go? Yeah. In case you want help from us, we will give you. To save your time so that you can have time for joining the reading group. That is called concern, correct? No? Is it clear?
Like my question was like my chanting and my book reading is not pleasing to Vaishnav, but Guru and Krishna. So how can we understand?
How it cannot be pleasing?
Matlab, if I do more services, then it will be more pleasing to Vaishnava. But if I do more book reading or like
That means likely that you are too much reading and hearing and not sufficiently entering service. Likely, very likely. Because there are counselors who are more like Bhajananand, counselors. They also tell their people that you do too much sadhana. And the temple authorities are not happy with the counselors only. What to speak of, the students under them. Because they don't care about, they may be reading Acharya's Tikas and other books. They may be doing more chanting, 32 rounds. Whenever they get holiday, they do 32 rounds, 64 rounds and all. They become more like Bhajananandi, which is not what Prabhupada wanted. Prabhupada wanted what Leelanpa was doing. That's exactly what Prabhupada wanted. Leelanpa's group is a good group because they have classes also. They call many, many senior speakers to give classes. When they have to take in, they take in. When they have to give out, they give out. They are not like Bhajananandis, they are Goshtanandis. Goshtanandi means, Prabhupada said, read 2 sentences, go and preach 2 sentences. If you see my calendar, in a week I have 15 programs, 15, 20 programs I do in a week. So we have to give out. That's what Prabhupada wanted. And most of my studies I do in traveling in the train, traveling in the car. I study, I take in, I contemplate, and I speak. So take in, practice it, relish it, and distribute it. So if you are on the one side of the pendulum, you're going to too much extreme of doing sadhana. If your leaders are not happy, that means you need to modify it. Sometimes your counselor says one thing, authority says another thing. Then you do tell the authority, both of you come together. You are able to consult and tell me, that I will follow. Clear, no? Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for the class.
Thank you.
Prabhuji, there are some sevas like where we have to associate.
One last point I want to say in that. There are boys coming from different parts of India. And when they come and stay together, some boys' counselor is not here. He may be in some other part of the country. And he says, Prabhu, I cannot go for preaching. I cannot do book distribution. I am attending classes of my leader who is far away. And every day we have 1.5 hours Chaitanya Charitamrita evening or Bhagavatam we are hearing. And morning also he joins the Zoom for Japa and he want to attend the lecture or something like that. And my parents have given me a Shaligram Shila which I have to worship. Some people do like that also. They are more into taking care of themselves. And if you feel that because of this one person, the others are also getting affected, then we can tell this person, you stay near us, don't stay inside. We can tell the devotee. We can tell them that, Prabhu, you have a different culture. Our culture is we are a preaching mission. Going out on Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, preaching. We really want to run our center like what Prabhupada wanted. You have a different type of vibes you are carrying. And we don't say it's wrong. It is between you and your senior, but you can't stay here. If you're staying here, in America, they're very clear. Any boy staying in BYS in America, temples, they have to give 8 hours of service per week, minimum. If they don't give, then they can't stay in the temple. Because temple requires manpower also. 8 hours per week they do service. And for that they get compromised, amount for the salary, for the accommodation also. They have a hall, they give them for accommodation, nice prasad also in the temple. But 8 hours of service required there. Similarly, when you make a center here, every center requires people to purchase the grocery, get the vegetables, and cut the vegetables, and then cook the. Many places our boys are cooking themselves also. Mukundilla Prabhu, they don't have appointed cook also. Here we have a cook. Still, inmates may not agree to cut vegetables also. They can imagine there are centers where they cook on their own. And Prabhupada appreciates that very much. Prabhupada says, don't employ anybody, he says. But we cannot do that because students have to study. So we employed a cook. So therefore, the leaders, brahmacharis who go there should teach the boys that if you don't do kasrat, hard work, if you don't do, you are not going to grow in devotional life. You will simply become lazy. Just eat prasad and grow a big belly, big tummy, that's all. If you don't go out and do Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, preaching, follow up, cultivation, cutting sabji, cleaning the room, waking up in the morning. Prabhupada wanted us to be very, very active. Devotees in ISKCON rise by 4 a.m., Prabhupada says. Sleep by 10 p.m. In purport, he writes that. We work more harder than karmis also, but we work only for Krishna. We don't work for ourselves. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question was, there are services like morning program in charge, IM, where often we have to associate with negative side of the devotees. Like sometimes they give some reasons which we think they are just cooking it up, or like we have to ask Mahamantras on a frequent basis with the same devotee. So kind of that.
No. See, let us go one by one. Mahamantra writing is only for those who come late. Correct, no? So if somebody comes late, you don't expect them to write immediately. You tell him, okay, come for the program, it's hand. In the daytime, they can write. By end of the day, they can submit. How many Mahamantras? 54, is it? 54, yeah. So somebody says, Prabhuji, I was sick. I couldn't get up. You can trust his words. Okay, Prabhuji, because of the rains, maybe he got sick. You can ask him, did you take tablet? If he says, not so sick that I have to take a tablet, if he says, then it is doubtful. Correct, huh? Yeah. And he is eating good. I saw in those days, some devotees in the sick room and they are taking Rajbhog for him. I said, is he really sick? How can a fellow having fever can eat Rajabhog? And he's going to the health room. So then I said, call him out of the health room, go to ashram now. Simply don't do tamasha, drama. So you can take them case to case and call them to your private room, one-on-one, you have to deal with such people. And you can tell them, Prabhu, you are forgiven once, twice, thrice, and we cannot continue like this. If you are not comfortable here, we have no issue with you. Just stay opposite or stay nearby. The center is always there. You can always come here in the morning and participate. You can have your own accommodation. But if you want to stay here, these are norms. I am not instituting these norms. I am nobody. I am a small devotee. But my seniors have given. I am just implementing the norms here. And I have no vengeance towards you. You are a devotee. I am a devotee. We both are friends. I am just instituting this. I tell you. You have to tell them one. And morning time, don't spoil your consciousness. Morning time, in case you have to deal with somebody, postpone it for the daytime. Morning, you politely check. Somebody is supposed to write Mahamantra. You just note his name and keep it and tell him that you have to submit by end of day. That much only. My Guru Maharaj has told that when you correct somebody, you don't have to yell at them or shout at them or lose a lot of your energy. You can politely tell a strong thing also. Prabhu, by end of day, please submit 54 rounds, okay? Hare Krishna. And you go and do your own thing. Sadhana. Why should you hurt? Then that's one example. What else? In the morning that spoils consciousness.
So mostly in this, like by EOD we tell, but then if like they have work and all. So
okay. See, one more thing I'll tell you. They didn't submit. For example, somebody didn't submit by end of day. You note down. Now you don't handle him anymore. You directly complain to your senior. You complain to your senior. Correct, no? You can tell your senior, because seniors will handle him more compassionately. They know how to handle. When you handle, then what happens? With your level of maturity, you try to handle him, the relationship becomes strained. He will say, "Hey, you are also one of the colleagues staying in the same place. You are dealing with me as if I am a thief, you are a policeman or something." They will not like it. So I also do that. Whenever we cannot handle somebody, we can escalate it to our superiors. They can handle more maturely. Correct, no?
Yes. And second thing regarding in IM service, it happens that sometimes devotees forget their service or last moment inform ki.
Now, those who forgot the service once, next time you will have to regularly follow them up. Some people need that. follow up. Then only service happens. प्रभु जी हो गया क्या? हो गया क्या? हो गया क्या प्रभु जी? बार बार उसको follow up करना पड़ेगा. Some people are like that. Because whenever a person is forgetful even once, no, you can make a separate list of such fellows. He is a forgetful devotees. Huh? We can have a separate list. Whenever you give any service, like I used to even ask my assistant, सुबह बोला कर दिया क्या तुमने? नहीं प्रभु जी करूँगा, अभी करो अभी. Then after 2 hours, हो गया क्या? अभी जा रहा हूँ प्रभु जी. हम 2 घंटे के बाद हो गया क्या? जाना ही वाला था प्रभु जी, वो आ गया है, अभी करते हैं. Yeah, you know. So I chase him, like I told him other day, repair the bathroom thing. 5 times I told him. Huh? Then only it happens, some people. Earlier I used to get very wild, even if it doesn't happen after telling once. Now I know that some people need how many follow-ups? 5 follow-ups. Yeah. Then only they do.
But then negative feeling comes about.
I don't feel negative. I know that is the makeup of his, psychophysical nature. Why should you feel negative? You have your makeup, he has his makeup. Like our makeup is to become angry and his makeup is to become forgetful. Everybody, everybody has their psychophysical nature. We're carrying this baggage of subtle body with us, moving here and there. Actually, over the years, you will understand people's nature and accordingly you have to deal with them. You don't follow up and then next day you become wild on him. I told you, tumne kiya nahi. Because he needs follow-up. Some people have to be given follow-up. Otherwise, give it to another person who doesn't need follow-up. There are good people like that. But they are not many. There are only few like that. And, bol diya to ho gaya. There are people like that. But not many are like that. What to do? We are recruiting people amongst conditioned souls. You are not getting people directly pure devotees joining your center. Otherwise, what is the purpose of the center? Purpose of the center is to reform the conditioned souls to become devotees. That's the goal, no? Correct?
One more thing. Like while implementing something with.
I would suggest one thing to all of you who are in managerial positions. You see, this royal class we are doing, that once in a month I do. I take half the time Bhagavatam, other half of the time practical situations I speak that. Prior to that, you have the email lectures, efficient management and inspiring leadership. Email. So email course, royal course, and also MALT, managers and leaders training. All these things are based on Bhagavatam and CC mainly. And then they teach many, many down to earth. I give hundreds of daily examples I give. I never speak theoretically. You will always see that. If you are hearing, you will not have these problems. I can confidently tell you. Because if you are regularly hearing that, these kind of situations I have discussed hundreds of times. And there is another one, bigger one called SLATE, Servant Leaders Applied Training Education. So that is little more exhaustive. One SLATE topic goes for like 4 sittings or so, each 2 hours. So like that one course contains 6 topics. So it's exhaustive, but if somebody has time and goes through it, all these leadership courses teach you how to take Bhagavatam and apply it in our daily life. So you will not have these questions. These are all preliminary questions. They're all peanuts, what you're asking. We have dealt with some of the worst type of situations. If you hear those recordings, you will know. These are ABC. It's like LKG questions actually. It's not very serious. Yeah. Anything else? Because how we are dealing with such tough questions, because Bhagavatam gives very, very challenging situations. One example I'll tell you. How to say a sweet no without saying no. So, like for example, Saubhar is coming out of water with emaciated body, with jata and a skinny looking body. All the bones are also visible. And he's wearing only cowpin. And he's coming to the king. My dear king, suddenly I have become lusty after seeing 2 fishes. And I'm looking for a marriage. I heard that you are the king of the world. You have 50 daughters. Can you give one? And the king looked up and down. My lord, what kind of son-in-law this fellow can be? He's an old man, long jata, skinny body, emaciated, all bones visible. He thought, if I ask any of my daughters to marry him, they will cry. You're asking me to marry a sage like this. And if I don't give him a daughter, what will happen? He can curse me to, burn down the whole kingdom. Brahma, it will become a Brahma Parad. So he was worried. I am caught between devil and deep sea. What to do now? So immediately the king told smartly to sage, my dear sage, You can pick up any one of my daughters who is eager to marry you. Like that he said. Huh? And the sage said, okay, thank you. I will go to Antapur and see who will marry me. So between the Mandata king and going to Antapur, on the way Saubari Muni understood this is a smart king. Why is he smart? Anybody can say? Huh? You were there yesterday, no? I don't speak that. I want them to think. Huh? Yesterday, I elaborately explained that yesterday. Let us hear from those who have not heard about it.
He told like this thing close to my work, they will take something like.
The king was confident. If I deny, he'll become angry. But if he goes to my daughters, none of them agree to marry him, then he may understand that they don't want to marry, so he will not be troubled. So instead of me saying no, let them say no. Like that he thought. And Saubari Muni understood, my looks are not good enough for marrying his daughter. So now I have to prepare myself. Like you say, a student should be made market ready, then he can join the company. Similarly, he thought I have to make myself to be a bridegroom. How a bridegroom should look. So sometimes in ISKCON, a brahmachari want to move out of the ashram and marry. So if the girl's father knows he's a brahmachari, he will get lost. He's a fakir, Baba. How will you take care of my daughter? He will say. Then the brahmachari, gets pant, shirt and gets a job and everything and he has to show. Then only they will give a girl. Correct, no? It has happened like that. Same manner, this fellow thought, okay, now I have to be ready for the marriage. So he changed his body to look like a beautiful, plumpy Rajkumar, with a beautiful turban and kundal and a gold ring and necklace and everything. Tak event, all the 50 girls are jumping. No, I want to marry him. Everybody married finally. Yeah, all of them eager. So the idea is the king said a sweet no without saying no. So Bhagavatam, there are thousands of examples like this in Bhagavatam. Thousands, not even hundreds. There are thousands. Mahabharata, Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavatam, Panchatantra, Niti Shastra, Chanakya Niti. Oh, there is one lifetime is not enough for you, I can say. There's so much to be learned. And Mahabharata, so many tributary stories also. Puranas are oceanic. Padte, you will become old man. 90 years you will become. So therefore, read the Shastra, learn these principles, learn their application in your daily life. You can be very jolly, peaceful with your own Krishna consciousness while managing very heavy duty situations. Yeah, next. Next now.
Hare Krishna. I'm started reading Bhagavad Gita, and I have a question regarding Dronacharya asking the thumb of Ekalavya. What do we understand from that, from the negative and positive side? And does the question come like, what is the right time to choose a guru? And how do you choose a guru? Do you have the choice?
Okay. First question. Ekalavya actually belonged to Nishada community, and the community people never cooperated with the ruling king at that time. When the ruling king would send the tax collectors to that area, the Nishada people would stone them and drive them away. So later on, this fellow Ekalavya went to Dronacharya and wanted to join his Gurukula. Dronacharya refused. He said, "You people are opposed to the government, and if I give you shelter, then it will be like I am opposing government also. It's not acceptable." Number one. Number two, he said, by talking to you and observing your behavior, I can say that you don't have the guna karma of a kshatriya, of a royal prince. You don't have that. If you are taught the archery, you will definitely misuse it in future. As a guru, it's my duty not to give this kala to somebody who will misuse it. Therefore, give up this desire and do your profession. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat sva anushtitat. Paradharma bhayabha. Krishna says that if you are trying to imitate somebody else's duty, that is very dangerous, he said, and he sent him away. Now, Ekalavya, when he went back home, what he thought that, if I can tell the people of the world that I have a guru like, Dronacharya, then I will be very respectable also. Just like, somebody want to join IIT, he couldn't join IIT. Nowadays they put IIT, like that they put 4 eyes. I purchased one Godrej bureau, and inside the thing started sagging like this. I was wondering, Godrej, how it can become like that. Later on, one boy showed me, it's not Godrej, It is G-O-R-D-R-A-G. Huh? It's a cheating, knuckling. It's not asli. So similarly, this fellow, what he did, he made a portrait of Dronacharya, and then he learned archery. And one day, a dog was barking. He sent arrows in the mouth of the dog, isn't it? And that was observed by Arjuna. And Arjuna went and told, we don't know who sent, but this poor dog is screaming in great pain because of this. And immediately Dronacharya said, that must be the work of Ekalavya. Call him, he said. And Ekalavya was called. Dronacharya said, you see, archery should never be used on innocent creatures, like a cat or a cow or a dog and creatures like that, because they are simple domestic animals. Domestic animals actually like to live with humans. They don't live in the jungle. And humans are supposed to protect them, not harm them. But what you are doing is foolish. And therefore, I told you, you should not learn archery. Now you are misusing it, as I told you. Then he asked, who is your guru? He asked. Then Ekalav said, oh Guruji, you are my guru because I made your putla and then I was worshipping it. That's how I learned. He said, oh really? If you think I am your guru, you give your thumb, he said. And then he cut his thumb and gave. And why he asked for the thumb? Because without the thumb, he cannot do archery. So in that way, he saved him from walking the path of adharma. Or Ekalavya. He was saved. But foolishly in India, many people think Ekalavya gave the thumb, he's a great soul. Guru ne manga, Ekalavya, people are praising like that. People don't know actually. Ekalavya was killed in the war by Krishna only. In the war, Ekalavya was killed by Krishna, if you read the Mahabharata war. So Ekalavya's character is not glorified. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has vividly explained this. People don't know. In India, people have wrong lessons. Therefore, you should hear the knowledge in Guru Parampara properly. So, a disciple should be like Arjuna. Arjuna says in 2.7 Bhagavad Gita, Shishyaste aham shadimam tvam. Krishna, you are my Guru. I am surrendering to you. And you instruct me and I will exactly act as you tell me to do. The ideal disciple means one should accept a Guru and follow in his footsteps. Guru says, don't do this, we should not do it. Guru says, do this, we should do it. Then only you are accepting the Guru. Correct, no? Like Arjuna did not want to fight the battle. But Krishna told him fight, therefore he fought. So he's obedient. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to fight a battle. His Guru told him, don't fight, so he didn't fight. So we should do what Guru says and not what we want to do. Correct, no? So, and with respect to choosing a Guru, you are already in the right association now. You keep coming to the classes, reading Prabhupada's books, attending the weekly program, chant the holy name. How many rounds you chant now? One round. So eventually from one round you'll come to 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds. Maybe in a year or so, in a year or two you will come, follow the 4 related principles, be in the association of devotees. And then you will come to know the bigger world of ISKCON and all the gurus. There are more than 95 gurus in ISKCON. At that time you can choose a guru. Right now for you are following Prabhupada. You like this movement, you like Prabhupada's books, he is the Acharya. So accept him as a Shiksha Guru. And also accept the devotees, brahmacharis who are teaching you. Come for the classes. And then probably after a year or so, things will be more clear for you. All right? There is one lesson called as test of a guru and then test of a sincere disciple. 2 lessons are available. You can ask your senior devotee, he will send you the PDF for you. So then you can go through that. That will give you what all you need to do as a disciple. That will make it clear for you. Thank you. That's all? Questions are over? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
My doubt is when a devotee creating a disturbance to whole environment and his behavior with his behavior and words, and he's not changing his behavior after so many instructions from superiors and his peer devotees, like counselors also, but he's performing his bhakti very nice devotion.
Environment means it's a big environment or the voice environment?
Voice.
Like a voice environment, okay. So what type of thing is doing in the environment, in the voice? How is he spoiling it?
For example, he's hurting devotees' feelings.
Yes?
Hurting devotees' feelings.
Oh, acha. He is speaking like strongly.
Strongly.
Okay, anything else he does?
I forgot to give a poll for Prasang count. He, in front of everyone, he told that You should not take prasad today.
That is too harsh. A treatment that you cannot take prasad today is very bad. That's not good. Actually, sometimes the manager may take the charge of management in the hand and decide on his own. You should ask him, you are saying you cannot take prasad. Give a call to our IOIS head, like Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Prabhu. Or ask, say, Vaishnav Prabhu who is coming here. Ask the senior, and then if they tell me not to take prasad, then I won't take. You check with them whether my prasad should be stopped. I mean, I should not take today. Check with them, and they will never tell you this because he is making a decision beyond his uh, uh, allowance of authority. It is, improper. It is like one time a madam told a boy that I'm just going to quickly finish my lunch and come for half an hour. You can just be in the hall and then supervise the boys. So if you walk around, the boys will not copy. Correct, no? You just see it in half an hour, I'll come back, she said. So she went to her staff room to finish her lunch and come. But what happened in the half an hour? Some boys were copying. So one boy was found to be copying. So this boy caught his hand and pat, he gave him a slap, and one tooth fell. It started bleeding. And the boy started crying. Immediately other boys surrounded and they caught his collar. How can you slap him? Lord Halavala madam left her food halfway and she came running. All the teachers came running and immediately first aid was called and he was rushed to hospital and principal also came running. Kya ho gaya, kya ho gaya? Hi, everybody. And then the madam understood that this fellow slapped. She said, hey, you are acting beyond your limits. The madam told her, I only told you to supervise. Somebody is copying, you can note his name and then come to the staff room and tell me that somebody is copying. And you can't slap a person. Like we keep in charge for crowd control. We generally give them a stick so that they can show the stick. You should not come beyond it. One fellow started beating devotees. Right? Don't come. Passionately. Then we removed him from the crowd control. We told him, you cannot do crowd control. Very dangerous fellow. He's beating devotees. He said, Prabhuji, police also beats with the lathi. He said, no. Then you join police station. Become a police. For devotees, if you're giving a stick, that is for stopping, not for beating. So, the in charges should not go beyond that. Whenever any of you feel that my immediate authority is acting too smart or beyond what is allowance given to him, like he's stopping my prasad or he's giving us punishment which is not yet ever pronounced before, then you can tell him, Prabhu, let's ask the brahmachari preacher who's coming. Because the brahmachari preachers are very senior, 15, 20 years they are practicing. They have been in the temple and they are the main people who are coming to a center. And any center is started and stopped based on the brahmachari's decision. And then the brahmachari is assisted by the overall coordinator and the preaching coordinator. There is the internal manager. And then there are mentors below. All these people, a team of leaders who are royal members, they assist the brahmachari preacher. And then below that, there are other boys like that. None of them are autonomous or independent. Everybody has to, in this God's creation, you will see, except Krishna, nobody is independent. Krishna is called Swarat. Everybody else is below. Like even I am not independent. For example, I am a president of Pune, I am co-president here. There are things which we cannot handle, we take it to GPC above. Even GPCs are not independent. They have to align with the executive GBC. Even the executive GBC, they have a chairman of executive GBC. And even chairman is not independent because he has to make a joint decision by all the GBCs together in alignment with Prabhupada. So, we all have people above. In your center here, you have OC, correct, no? You have OC? Yeah. Say you may have a prasadam in charge and above him there is OC and above him there are brahmacharis. So it's like a vertical, you can say if you are unhappy with somebody, you can always go to person above. You have the freedom, you have the right, you can write. In fact, I have told all over India also, any of the voice centers, boys have any problem, they are unable to open up or reveal, they can write to me directly. My email and phone number is open. You all know that?
Yes.
You go to any temple, in Pune, you go to Vrindavan Information Center and ask, call up and ask what is Radheshyam Prabhu's number, they'll give you immediately. You can take. My email is well known. There are 2 emails I have. voicemedia.pune@gmail.com is available in all the YouTube videos you will see in the description. And another email is radheshyam.rns@iskonpune.com. So anybody can write, and immediately we can set it right whenever such wrong decisions are made. It is wrong on your part not to give the count, because the leader is upset with you, because without the count they will not know the quantity. Correct, no? That was a mistake on your part. At the same time, it was another mistake on the part of the leader to tell you that you will not get your prasadam. That is too big a punishment. Because I told you, prasadam is very important for everybody. Correct, no? Other things you compromise and they won't mind.
And Prabhuji, the prasadam got also wasted if he had already taken the count, no? But prasadam also wasted.
That
On that.
you don't have to worry. You should see what is your mistake. See, sometimes people say, anyway, even if I take count, still anyway it's wasted, so I won't give the count. Don't say that. You should do your service. All of us should see what is fault in me or what is fault in others. What do you think?
Fault in me.
Look at your own fault. Don't be too eager. If you have given the count for prasadam, that is your territory. Your job is over. Prasadam is wasted or not, that is his territory. Don't worry about that. Clear now? Yeah. This is the problem. People blame one another. Anything goes wrong, anything goes right, it's me. That is tendency in the material world. Something went right, it's me. Something went wrong, it is others. So we don't need to blame anybody. You look deficiencies in yourself and improve, work on it. But I told you openly and frankly that we should not keep the prasadam punishment. That's not good for anything. Even if he has some deficiencies, problem, give him prasadam. Correction you give after he eats prasad, then you give correction. Anything else? Give the mic to Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So sometimes even though the management team is not being harsh to us or anything, we don't feel any harm because of them, but we see their behavior with some devotees who might be not following good or anything
That
might
causes fear.
that actually brings a notion in us that that person is not behaving well, and that respect for that IM or
Reduces.
anyone reduces. So how to
This is oftentimes not known to managers. It is called as 1 against 99, we call it. Which means, for example, a mature leader is one who knows that my behavior is being observed by others. How I treat others, how I speak, how I say what I say. So then others are going to decode my behavior and then say that this is a good person, bad person. They're going to form perceptions about me. So that's where the leader's maturity comes. Like if you want to correct somebody, you can call him to a private room. Or after everybody's gone, this devotee is alone. That's where I told you the patience is required in holding the information. Like you see, Sugriva is giving an opinion, Hanuman is watching it, but is he speaking? No. So he's able to hold it. And then Lord Rama is also hearing Sugriva's wrong opinion. Is Rama correcting him? No. So he's able to hold his opinion. Then Rama is asking Hanuman for his opinion. While Hanuman is giving his opinion, is he ridiculing Sugriva? No. So this is what you have to learn from Ramayana. You can see that how the people are very, very mature in self-control. They are able to, on one hand, hold the confidence and not blurt out things. So all of us as leaders, we have, in the early years, I remember, as soon as I know that somebody has done some mistake, I'll directly go and correct the person. But nowadays, over the years, I learned one thing. If somebody comes and complains to me, for example, A told me about B. If I catch B, first question B will ask me, who told you? And I will say, A told you. Then A and B fight like anything. Correct? So now what I do, A has told me, and I hear it, and I also watch B doing it. And when I watch B doing it, I slowly go near B and I watch. And B has understood that I am observing. And then I tell B, I observed you doing this, Prabhu, because you went in the middle of japa, but I saw you coming after half an hour. What happened in that half an hour? Can I know? Yes, Prabhuji, I took a small nap, Prabhu. It became a little long nap. I may say that. Now, I am not saying that A told me. I am saying that I observed. So then B has no problem with A. B will be going and telling A, आज पकड़ दिया प्रभु जी ने हमको, आधा घंटा सोया मैं. And A will be laughing. And A knows very well his name is not taken. Correct, no? So B is now in a friendly mode, confiding with A, as if nothing has happened, but I got information from A only. So again, this maturity is very important, how we deal. Actually, many things I also learned through school of hard knocks. Committed mistakes, and over the years we learned how to handle things. Because in those days, if somebody is unpunctual to class, brahmachari class, one time there were brahmacharis came, and one by one they were coming after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, 15 minutes. One fellow came after 40 minutes he came. Only another 20 minutes are left for the class. In the last 20 minutes, I was doing Rudra Tandav. I spoke about people coming late, how bad it is. And so devotee said, Prabhuji, you are scolding him, but we got frightened seeing your, Ugra Rupam. So then later on, I understood that our behavior is observed by many people. Especially if you are in leadership, many people observe. Uh, Actually, conditioned soul, how it decodes. If some Vaishnava is embracing somebody, that means they love one another very much. Correct, no? They love each other. They're very affectionate. No? And they 99% of the conditioned souls decode things based on external observation. They cannot see any. Like Duryodhana is making Karna into Angadeshka Raja. Immediately Karna considered that he is my best friend. Correct, no? Superficial, many things. So therefore, because people are taking superficial things seriously, we should be right superficially also. Superficially also, we should not do things which will cause, disruption. So, it's a warning to all of us, whoever is in royal group or leadership, brahmacharis also, that let us be more mindful and more conscious in upholding the information and slowly taking action without swiftly taking action. Correct, now? Mhm. Like there are some people in both the temples, I mean Hyderabad and Pune, they will come and give me the good information about what standards are not being followed. Correct, na? Some people will tell me, and many people know who they are. Now they know it. As soon as I speak in brahmachari class, hey, तुमने बोला ना प्रभु जी को, तुमने feedback दे दिया ना प्रभु जी को, they will ask them. And therefore, I told these people, don't come to my office, because don't come to my room in ashram. Because if they come to my room, everybody thinks now he's going to go and put fire now. He will tell about our, correct, no? I think I'll tell them that casually here and there when I meet you, I will talk to you. But these people give very valuable information, because only then we can improve. Correct, no? Many things we learn over the years. So actually, the leaders who are strong natured, in giving corrections, they also should deeply think about what are the good things happening in our center and learn to appreciate that. And these are the good things happening. And this devotee did this. Many of the leaders who are very strong, they don't have the mouth to glorify the devotees enough. But they are very strong in only giving correction. So people don't like it. So therefore, we have to be honest. You do you both equally. Appreciate those who are doing well, and then offer the corrections in a right situation, right platform. So therefore the mistake can be both from the authority side and from subordinate side. So whoever is committing mistake, they have to rectify surely.
In like you said very nicely in the aspect of a management project, like in addition to it, as an inmate, how should I think, okay, that Prabhuji is having that service, that's why he is behaving like that, and how should I not have that envy, feeling of envy?
Oh, there are many things you can think in your mind. One thing you can see that, see, he is also young devotee like me. We almost came at the same time. And the service that he is handling is very tough service. You know, see, if somebody tells you to wash this floor, it's very easy. Floor is not going to cause any trouble to you. You can just wash peacefully. But handling living entities is very difficult. The living entities are free will. So floor has no free will. Correct, no? So my service is simple. His service is difficult. That's the first thing you think. Second thing, he's a young devotee. After 3, 4, 5 years, he'll become mature and he will handle the same situation more maturely. Right now, he's in the learning stage. Like that, one can think. And also, you can think he has his own sadhana, he has his own spiritual life. Along with that, he is taking this additional burden, for all the other devotees. I am grateful to him for this, because if there is no such coordinator available, how can the centers run? So we are grateful for his service as a coordinator. Besides his own, Mahaviri Prabhu in Pune came and told me, Prabhuji, मेरा जीवन इतना छोटा लाकर इसको overhauling once in a week he cleans it. He said it takes so much time. Or your manager, look, they are managing 100 devotees, 80 devotees, the ashram. And I can't manage my locker also. Huh? And these people are managing a whole ashram. Huh? How difficult it is. We should be grateful to the leaders and managers who are handling that service. And along with their anxiety, they have to chant the holy name. You can imagine how difficult it is. Correct, no? Along with that. When you are not a manager, you can chant with a cool head. Huh? So because they're taking that burden, we should be grateful. And they don't have many years of experience. So they will gain their experience over the period of time. They'll become mature and cool-headed later. Like that you can think. And seeing them from that perspective will help you not to, blame them. Correct, no? Yeah.
Just last point, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
If even after that something like something unbearable thing we see and like it's like too much, I can't.
Then you should report to brahmacharis.
Then we can.
Yeah, definitely. Purpose of sending brahmacharis here. Brahmacharis are sadhus. They have given their life fully and they have no other business. They are not doing any other job. They are not making money. They are renounced people. They are coming here and they are saintly people. So you should tell them that, probably, like he told that behavior of somebody telling you can't eat prasadam, that is unacceptable. So in the same manner, if somebody is going overboard, you have to complain. Just like Gachibowli saw that Indra is doing, going overboard, they reported to Krishna. Correct, no? We can do that. Similarly, this Garuda was going and eating snakes in the one of the areas. Anytime you'll go and attack the snakes and take. So all the snakes, they complained to Vasuki, and then Vasuki is the leader. He complained to Brahma. And then Brahma came and made an arrangement for Garuda. So this is a very, very pakka system, going to the higher and higher authorities. If one authority is very slow to take action, you can go to his authority also. It has happened in Pune. For example, somebody told the leaders in Pune to take some action. 1 month has passed, they are not doing anything. Then they will add me in CC. Once my name is added in CC, quick action is taken. Because people know that I am very quick. Before my mail goes, they will immediately say, yes, Prabhuji, we had a meeting. We are very soon coming up with this thing. We are going to, already we had a meeting because festivals were there. We are not. Once I see the reply, then I won't write anything. I'll just remain silent. I'll just see it's going on. So why they put? Because we need somebody who can take swift action. Otherwise, things will rot. You can always go to higher and higher ups. Shilpa Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. So let us